Diplomatic tensions are boiling over in a way Australia hasn't seen in decades. The world is watching as Canberra takes a bold, unprecedented step on the international stage, sending shockwaves through diplomatic circles and raising urgent questions about global security, foreign influence, and the safety of minority communities. In a move that's making headlines around the globe, Australia has expelled Iran's top envoy and several key embassy staff. But what exactly triggered this dramatic decision? And what does it mean for the future of Australia-Iran relations? On August 26th, the Australian government delivered a formal notice to the Iranian ambassador and 3 senior embassy officials, giving them just 7 days to pack up and leave the country. The message was clear. Australia will not tolerate foreign-backed violence or intimidation on its soil. This is a historic moment. It's the first time since the end of World War II that Australia has expelled a foreign ambassador. The last time such a drastic measure was taken, the world was a very different place, highlighting just how seriously the government views these recent events. So, what's behind this extraordinary diplomatic fallout? According to Australia's top security agency, the Australian Security Intelligence Organisation, the Iranian regime, specifically the notorious Revolutionary Guard, was directly involved in orchestrating a series of violent anti-Semitic attacks across multiple Australian cities. These weren't random acts of hate, but carefully coordinated operations designed to spread fear and division. The intelligence community says the evidence is overwhelming. They allege that Iranian operatives used covert channels to funnel money and instructions to local criminals, turning them into unwitting pawns in a much larger geopolitical game. The goal? To intimidate Australia's Jewish community and send a chilling message to anyone who dares to oppose Tehran's interests abroad. Among the targets was a prominent synagogue in Melbourne, a place of worship and community that suddenly found itself at the center of an international crisis. And in Sydney, a kosher restaurant, long considered a safe haven for the city's Jewish residents, was also attacked, leaving the community shaken and demanding answers. Investigators say these attacks weren't carried out by ideological extremists, but by criminals for hire. The plot was layered and complex, with multiple intermediaries used to obscure the true source of the orders and payments. This layer cake of operatives and go-betweens made it difficult to trace the attacks directly back to Iran, until now. The Australian government says it has uncovered a web of evidence, encrypted communications, suspicious financial transactions, and surveillance footage that all point to a coordinated campaign directed from Tehran. The sophistication of the operation has alarmed security experts, who warn that this could be just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to foreign interference in Australia. Thankfully, no one was physically injured in these attacks, but the psychological impact has been profound. The targeted communities are grappling with fear, anger, and a sense of vulnerability that's hard to shake. For many, the knowledge that a foreign government may have orchestrated violence on Australian soil is deeply unsettling. Community leaders have called for increased security, more government support, and a national conversation about how to protect vulnerable groups from hate-fueled violence, no matter where it originates. In response, Australia's government has taken decisive action. Not only were the Iranian diplomats expelled, but the Australian embassy in Tehran has been closed indefinitely. This is a clear signal that Australia is willing to risk diplomatic fallout to defend its citizens and uphold its values. The closure of the embassy also means that diplomatic channels between the two countries are now severely limited, making it much harder to resolve future disputes or cooperate on issues like trade, travel, and regional security. But the government isn't stopping there. Lawmakers are fast-tracking new legislation that would officially designate Iran's Revolutionary Guard as a terrorist organization. If passed, this would make it illegal for anyone in Australia to support or collaborate with the group in any way, and could lead to further sanctions and restrictions on Iranian nationals. This move is being closely watched by other Western countries, many of whom have faced similar threats from the Revolutionary Guard and are considering their own crackdowns. Iran, for its part, has categorically denied all accusations. Officials in Tehran have called the evidence fabricated and politically motivated, accusing Australia of bowing to pressure from Israel and the United States. They've also warned that any further escalation will be met with appropriate retaliation, raising fears of a tit-for-tat diplomatic war. Behind the scenes, analysts say Iran is likely to respond by restricting Australian access to its markets, limiting cooperation on regional issues, and possibly targeting Australian interests in the Middle East. Meanwhile, Israel and many of Australia's Western allies have praised the government's tough stance, calling it a necessary step to deter future attacks and send a message that foreign interference will not be tolerated. However, Some diplomats and experts warn that this could further inflame tensions in an already volatile region, making it harder to find peaceful solutions to ongoing conflicts. There are also concerns about the safety of Australians living or traveling in Iran, as well as the potential for retaliatory cyber attacks or other forms of asymmetric warfare. The bottom line: this expulsion marks a major rupture in the relationship between Canberra and Tehran, with consequences that could ripple far beyond Australia's borders. It's a stark reminder of how global politics, security, and local communities are more interconnected and more vulnerable than ever before. So, what happens next? Will this bold move by Australia lead to greater security and international cooperation? Or will it spark a new round of diplomatic and covert conflict? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for the latest updates as this story continues to unfold.